this child tax credit was helping me to be able to put food on the table for my kids. And without that, the reality of it is I'll go without eating so my kids don't have to.
Joining me now from the White House is our White House correspondent, Monica Alba. So, Mon, I wanted to have our viewers hear from Stormy Johnson there, right? Because this isn't Beltway policy insider talk. We're talking about things that will directly affect people. People like Ms. Johnson there, single mom of 3 kids, who's relying on that child tax credit, isn't going to get it in January now, may not get it ever, to help her be able to put food on her table, right? How do you unravel these next steps for the White House and Senator Manchin, who's got a lot of power here, and right now they're at loggerheads?
Very real concerns, Hallie, as you just saw there. And a little bit of breaking news, I can tell you right now, the Hill team and our own team has just been able to confirm that Senator Manchin and President Biden did speak at some point last evening. We don't have all the details of that conversation, but that is a piece of the puzzle that was missing today. And I add that to the conversation because that is where the White House sees this going next. They don't think the door is completely closed on this, and they think talks are going to continue. But of course, Senator Manchin made his position completely clear yesterday. The White House blasted him in that super long 700-word statement. But again, today there was a little bit of a shift in tone from the White House saying the two men have been longtime friends for years. They respect one another, and they want to see if more can be done on this in the new year. So they are kind of punting a couple of weeks from now, Hallie, but as you know so well, that doesn't resolve how they would actually get this legislation passed or to any point of reality, just that it seems this thing isn't completely dead, maybe mostly dead.
What's so interesting, Mon, is listening to the press secretary, Jen Psaki, talk about this today. They didn't back away from that long statement that you mentioned, right? That pretty intense statement. They stood by it. But also, she was careful to talk about, dodged questions on whether the president felt betrayed, emphasized the longstanding relationship between President Biden and Senator Manchin. And now this breaking news from our teams, who I know have been working on this all day. We didn't know if the two had spoken since then or if this was like a silent detente between the two. So super interesting, this news that you're reporting right here, breaking on the show, that they did have a conversation. I know we don't know much more about the details, but the fact that they spoke is in and of itself newsworthy.
I completely agree. And all day long we were asking, and we even asked the press secretary in the briefing to weigh in. And she was very cagey about it and said, I'm not going to read out any conversations. But clearly these are two lawmakers from the president's own experience for decades, a veteran of Capitol Hill, who had been speaking. Remember, it was Senator Manchin who was personally trying to negotiate a lot of these details. But what we don't know, and some of the questions now go to, it seems like Senator Manchin brought forth his own version or counter proposal last week to the White House, something the White House clearly did not accept. But even just days ago, the president was saying things like, we're going to bridge our differences. We think Senator Manchin can get there. And then the entire thing imploded. And just to bring people a little bit behind the scenes yesterday, Senator Manchin gave the White House a really short heads up about this Fox News interview. And when the White House tried to get in touch with him, to speak with him directly, to try to really convince him maybe not to do this, he didn't take the call, Hallie. So that spoke to how things were going then. But it does seem at least things have been a little bit at least course corrected so that the conversation is ongoing. The tenor of those talks will report out further.
Yeah, it's a move to hit decline, right, when the call is coming from inside the White House. Monica Alba at the North Lawn. Mon, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.